He looks healed. Yep. We got mission accomplished, at least.
So this is a plaque here of fibrin, and then you can see, if you look closely, there's some linear erosions that are like little ulcers right here. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. So this is covering it and trying to heal it. So this one has a little bit more healing. He has hyperkeratosis in his greater curvature along the margo plicatus and the lesser curvature. It's less significant than this one, who has fibrin plaques on some areas along his margo plicatus, but it's just not as thick and appearing. So these look a little bit more recent, and these look a little bit more old.
When you're trying to fix ulcers and they won't eat what you're trying to give them, you gotta do what it takes, and that's gonna be tubing him half a scoop twice a day until he starts eating everything when his stomach feels better, when he's not mad about being separated. So what did you find?
They both look really good. Both their stomachs were clean. They have some feed in their stomachs, so you can't see quite as much as the last scopes, but looked really good, and no evidence of recent ulcers.
Great. What we did look like it helped?
It did look like it helped.
It helped a lot. So he went from almost a grade 3 to nothing you could see, correct?
Correct.
He looks healed.
Yep. We got mission accomplished, at least.
The color looks really good.
The color is really normal. See that big ball? The way it's formed, like that's totally normal.
Oh, wow.
In a horse that eats and grazes, that's completely normal, and that's how it's supposed to be. But this is why we have to fast him for so long, because that has to break up. It forms over time.
So if he had more fiber in his diet than normal, would it make that last longer?
Potentially.
Yeah.
So we're looking bird's eye down. This is the bottom of the stomach, this is the top, and then we're looking at his feed ball, which
That's actually kind of cool to see.
It's super cool. Yeah, it is cool to see.
No, you didn't eat this morning.
Even though we didn't want to see, I did not want to see it. You got to learn
It means his digestive system's working correctly,
yes,
right?
Exactly. So it's great because you can imagine, so see how it's covering the margo plicatus, that junction? That protects the stomach from the acid. Because if it wasn't there, then the stomach would be just naked and exposed. And
Which is why you want so much fiber in their diet.
And they're evolved to be grazing animals. They're not evolved to be animals that are on pellets and
a little bit.
Evolved to be on pellets and have 8 hours without anything in there. So you can imagine racehorses that are on high octane feed with oats and corn and blah, molasses. They don't have this. So they have horrible ulcers. They can't protect themselves. Their stomach tries, but it just is defenseless. Okay, that's all we're gonna get. It's not a bad scope, but I just can't see any more than that.
But what looks great, right?
What I see looks pristine.
Sorry, what was your name?
Dr. Rachel Liepman.
This is what he looks like now. So happy, so shiny, so strong. He looks better than he's ever looked. This is Sparky. Really muscled up, really got shiny, looks really good. So we're gonna keep them both on this protocol. This is Maverick, and he is a super neat barrel horse. My kids ride this horse. You can brand on him. I got married on him, and he's just a really special horse. So we wanna make sure he's good to go. So Maverick has actually been on the back burner for a couple years and just turned out to pasture, which is just dry lot with alfalfa hay. And so he had no reason to have ulcers, but we figured we better check. And he was not happy, even with sedation, about having this tube shoved up his nose, and he still fought, but we got it done. He's always been funny about his nose being bothered because it will sunburn, so he fought pretty hard even with sedation. So this is what they found. And the vet keeps spraying it with water to see if it'll wash off, to see if it's just residue, but since it's not coming off and you can see the swollen red underneath, it is ulceration that the body is trying to take care of. So basically, yes, he has ulcers, even though he's been turned out with hay, no stress, anything like that, and no reason to necessarily have ulcers. The funny thing is, he didn't really show any signs. He's got great behavior, he's very willing, he doesn't do anything wrong, and his coat always looked good and all of that. Probably the only thing this horse showed was he doesn't like to finish his food, and we thought maybe he just didn't like the stems. That has something to do with them having ulcers. So Maverick has grade 2 ulcers, and we were going to start him on the Victory protocol by Elite Equine Health and Performance, which is the ulcer defense and the Victory. So this horse is named Sparky. Now, up until a couple weeks ago, this horse had been turned out and hadn't been in work, and we brought him in, separated him, he started pacing the fence. He's always been a horse that wants to be kind of nervous, so we figured he was the type. So we already started him. He has 2 weeks of Victory protocol. Now, we actually took extra precautions with this horse because we didn't know how he would act. So we not only twitched him, but he got a little extra sedation. And as it turns out, he probably didn't need it. He did really good, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Obviously he's not a fan, but he actually didn't fight as hard as Maverick did, so that was good. He did really good for this. Before getting scoped, both of these horses were fasted for 16 hours, at least. And as I said before, this horse was already showing signs of ulcers, so we started him already. He's 2 weeks into the protocol. When we pulled him out of the pasture, he was very fat, fluffy, dull looking. Now what we found on this horse was actually really interesting. He didn't have ulcers, but he showed signs, I guess she graded him at a 1, but he showed signs of significant healing from having ulcers. So basically, this horse clearly had ulcers, and he is almost complete with the healing process. And he's only been on the Victory protocol for a couple of weeks, but he did show signs that he had ulcers, which is why we started him. But his behavior really changed. He quit pacing, he quit being nervous, and so all very exciting. This is definitely why we were going to put Maverick on the same protocol. So both horses got put in individual pastures, and Sparky continued to do great. Maverick, on the other hand, decided that he was pissed that he was away from his friends and he didn't want to eat any of his food. As you can see, there's his beautiful food, and way back there is Maverick trying to look at his friends. So we know for a fact he has ulcers, we know his stomach's bothering him, and we know this is going to help, so guess what? So Maverick isn't eating anything because he's pissed we pulled him out of the pasture. And usually we would mix this with applesauce, but we are going to mix it with water, and he's not going to be very happy, but he's going to make his ulcers worse because he's mad that he's not in the pasture with his friends. So he's not being a very good test subject. As a review, both horses were fasted for the same amount of time this time as they were last time, which was 16 hours, and they still had more food in their system this time, which is interesting. Healthy for the stomach, but made it a little bit harder for the scopes. Even though she couldn't see as much as last time, she could see the problem areas that they had last time, which is why she was so confident with the scopes. And here they are absolutely hoovering their food, and we're so happy that they're clean and healthy, and Maverick licks his bucket clean now. The pellets we're using are Medalist Sprout pellets, and they quickly became a favorite, and the horses really like them. We're keeping these guys on a forage-only diet with no sugars and starches added, and Loki's eating so good now. So glad we're not having to tube him anymore, because really that's not that much fun, especially when you gotta do it twice a day. It only took about a week of tubing him before he really started hoovering his food and cleaning up everything, so that was great. Both horses got put back into work. So by separating both horses and putting them both back to work, we're actually increasing their chances of getting worse ulcers while giving this protocol. Something else we noticed after doing the protocols is they really started to shine as their coat was coming off more than normal. As you can see, he still has a winter coat, but look how shiny he is. Really looked good after doing the protocol, and we kept him on the Victory and the maintenance ulcer defense. This is what he looks like now. So happy, so shiny, so strong. He looks better than he's ever looked. This is Sparky. Really muscled up, really got shiny, looks really good. So we're gonna keep them both on this protocol, and they're both doing fantastic. We're gonna keep them on it. Lots of other horses are coming back with the exact same results. Thank you for following along on our journey.